Hello again, everybody, and this is Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Radio for the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join us every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with myself, Rob Hefner, and Brian Taylor, as we bring you our thoughts and feelings on the world of professional wrestling and everything in between. As my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week. We look forward to seeing you. Thanks again for listening to the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Is it my turn? It's all right. So, this is me, Brian Taylor, and I've been told that it's my turn first at the plate. So I'm going to take this opportunity. I'm going to hijack it for a minute because I got a little something I need to get off my chest. So, there's a nasty little article floating around. I'm not going to go into names or anything like who wrote it or where to find it. About AJ Styles was originally supposed to be hired for low to mid card. And if you read it, believe it, or wrote it, you're an idiot. You don't take somebody like that and bring them in to feud with The Miz on a regular basis. So a lot of y'all need to really tighten up. Because a lot of people read that stuff. Some people believe it. And just because you wrote it, don't mean it's true. So don't buy it. Now to Stan.
That's horse donkey.
What's going on, everybody? Corner to Corner is live on the air. Brian?
Yes.
Well done, sir.
I'm not.
You're killing it, man. You're killing it.
That was like one of those vignettes from like last week we had, and then boom, and then Stan's like that, Michael Cole character. Hey guys, I gotta actually do something with it now. Oh, sorry.
Oh, there
Damn!
it is. Game on.
Dang, that wasn't even like 60 seconds in, bro.
Well, since he's taking the straight character tonight, I gotta do like...
This is what you don't want, ladies and gentlemen. Rob amped up to 11.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
He took his naturoprofen on that one, didn't he?
Oh, fellas, how you been? Had a good week?
And joining us as always on the board is...
The one and only Fast Eddie Lane.
Hi there.
He...
What was that? Hi there.
Hi there.
Hey there.
Hello. What you doing, Eddie?
Well, since we're going in that direction, I think I could just turn around and do a Jack Nicholson and say, I want my Gagne Oreos. Okay.
Yes.
You can't handle the truth.
The truth is, you need me on that wall. You want me on.
Never mind. All right, I'm losing my mind.
Oh, Rob is,
I can't lose
open
it.
the door to the
I
impressionists.
can't lose it because I never had it.
Well,
Wouldn't be prudent.
so we're going to start off, ladies and gentlemen, with, of course, the, as Eddie puts it, 800-pound gorilla in the room.
There's 6 of those.
Stan Second.
WE
Oh, no.
suspension. How's it got me always about my sex life?
Oh, by the way, those who keeping track,
they don't care about
we're
that.
gonna update you all on the Stan Slam here in a little bit.
We'll do that after this. After
Important
the gorilla,
announcement.
The gorilla gets handled by Stan.
Wow. Somebody's going to have to kill that gorilla afterwards.
Just handle the gorilla. Choke it, buddy.
Choke it.
So the news comes in Tuesday morning-ish, Tuesday afternoon. Roman Reigns suspended. Wellness policy violation, 30 days. Now, after I got over my initial shock and thinking, but Roman is an upstanding citizen. He would never do anything wrong. I was surprised and disappointed. But guys, what are your thoughts on the suspension of the one and only Roman Reigns?
He an idiot.
Okay.
Like, plain and simple. You're on the main card. You're like at the top of the heap, and you're gonna do something stupid like that. Nope. Sorry.
And I just can't believe that he's gone for 30 days and we still got to talk about him. That's just me. But no, I think it's
Is he gone, or is he still just trying to come down the steps from some arena somewhere?
I think it was a very stupid thing to do. I mean, I guess there could be, much like the NFL, their wellness policy or drug testing. Sometimes you take things that are okay to take, but they, they're not okay. Whatever, I'm not going to say it's any narcotics or pills or anything like that, but it could have been that simple, and they just, no, we're going to, we got to prove a point, and you haven't made us no money lately, so you're,
wow, the cash cow is dead. It's time to set him aside to pasture. Jeez.
We need him off TV. Oh, look.
Oh, yeah, conveniently, right before Battleground.
He beat me dirty.
But here's the thing, though. His suspension ends 3 days before Battleground, and thus far, he's still listed in the main event.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying.
Vince got to save money. He ain't going to reprint the posters.
Well, I mean, if you've spent this kind of time investing in the Shield triple threat, which is their ultimate goal, I think, and since the brand split is going to make it fairly impossible for that to become a real issue going forward, would you continue to put him in that position? At least for Battleground?
You know me, I'm going to say no.
Right.
But just because I don't feel he's world title material.
Oh, I mean, I know that, but what I'm talking about is just
I think
for the principle.
Samoa Joe needs a challenger.
Well, yeah, again, but
that
even
would actually be good.
Even for the suspension and the whole Shield, we got to have the Shield main event or whatever. I still wouldn't have them. I would find a way to repackage them, something to get the audience behind them, and then do it at WrestleMania. You have months to build up to it, as opposed to just a few short weeks, with one of you now being suspended for 30 days.
Right.
So,
another suspendee who returned just recently. We want to welcome back Connor of the Ascension.
Woo! They got a cool little picture I saw where they're like behind a cage, kind of like what the Road Warriors did years and years ago. And it's like Welcome to the Wasteland. It looks pretty cool.
Sorry, they missed the boat.
Yeah, I don't know that the Ascension could ever revive themselves.
No. I'm sorry. Their whole push was they were supposedly like build up like Demolition, like the Road Warriors.
How dare you say Demolition?
And then
in this house,
well, Road Warriors, but I didn't want to offend the Road Warriors. That was a thing. Like, I mean, you build them up to be this like Welcome to the Wasteland, and then they get beat. Like, I guarantee you they would have gotten beat down by the Bushwhackers if both of them could have gotten down to the ring.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been like, seriously, you can't turn them around and make them some beatable tag team anymore, unbeatable tag team.
Right.
That's like telling the Giant to finally go out there and be a giant.
Yeah, too late.
Too late, yeah. I don't know. With the tag team division, what it is now, though, there's a shot they can revive it somewhat.
Hey, Golden Truth needs somebody to beat for a little while.
Oh, that's foul.
Maybe they could turn up the tanning beds on the Ascension.
God.
That would be funny.
I got to give them credit for selling the fake sunburn.
Yeah, they did the work.
Selling the fake sunburn and then like the fake skin. But it's like, that was funny.
It was funny.
Funny.
Except for the peeling part.
Yeah, the fact they peel it and all their skin is perfectly fine underneath. Damn Hollywood magic.
I'll have to admit, when I turned it on, it was like towards the end of that match. And I didn't know, hadn't seen the tanning bed thing, so I didn't know anything about it. And old Tyler Breeze was just so beat red. I was like, what in the is going on here? This is crazy. So,
but that is one of the long. I think, isn't it? What was it? What was the last pay per view again? I forgot.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Wasn't it one of the longest WWE pay per views in recent history?
Yes,
maybe 3.5 hours.
Probably one of the best endings to a pay per view we've seen in some time.
I mean, really boring beginning because really, but it was. I mean, I thought the matches you turned in to watch delivered.
Yes.
The matches you didn't care about, you still don't care about.
Right. So here's the question.
And then there's Rusev.
And we saw on.
I'm going to let you pick on Rusev.
He's
an American hero, and I'm not going to let you do it.
American hero.
Well,
He's got the U.S. title, doesn't he?
Has he changed countries again?
Doesn't he say on
He's
his
no longer
tights
Russian's
USA?
favorite person.
He's
Now
finally claiming to be from New Jersey.
was it going to be Cuban next?
Well, I mean, New Jersey, Bulgaria. What's the difference? You know what I'm saying?
Herzegovina? That's a country I haven't heard of in a while.
Rusev Castro, that's his new name.
Rusev Castro.
So we saw on... Oh, that's a very nice invention, sir. Well done.
Oh, I brought that back from Canada. This
Back
little bear
scratcher.
claw.
Got the back scratcher, eh? So we saw on Sunday and also on Monday
Please keep it on the rails.
the furthering of the story between Charlotte, Natalya, Becky Lynch, and now insert Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks. My thing is this. I like the fact that they're having actual storylines in the women's division.
Right.
But now you're making it to where it's all about Charlotte.
Uh-huh.
And to me, the other divas...
You all right there, Stan? Mm-hmm. Just a taco.
Sharon is having a hard time eating this taco.
Been a long day.
But, I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I was listening to one of the podcasts the other day, and they were saying the same kind of thing, that, you know, they're building the Divas division all around Charlotte, which is fine. She's the Divas champion. I mean, the women's champion. But, to me, now there are no secondary storylines.
Right.
You know? Like, they didn't really elaborate on why Natty did what she did. You know, she's like, I'm tired of whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they did the whole I'm taking care of me thing, but that seems kind of played out. I didn't really get it.
Well,
Why at that point? You know? Like, all right, you've been chasing Charlotte for how many months? Mm-hmm. And now, I'm going to take care of me. That's like Dean Malenko, I'm going home.
Well, I think it's got to do more with the split. I don't think you're going to see a lot of storylines with the Divas until the split. And then I think you'll start to pick up. Because they're going to split the Divas, aren't they? Some on one show and some on the other.
You're going to see some women on SmackDown, some on Raw.
Now, what I'd like to see is, one, Sasha Banks. And I'd like to see Sasha Banks. But, you know, like...
We are kind of fanboys for Sasha Banks.
But I will not be wearing a t-shirt.
Did y'all see her on SmackDown when she came out and did that little flip on Brooks and put her right in the move? That was pretty sweet. All right, go ahead, Ron.
No, I mean,
you said Sasha Banks.
I know.
I got distracted.
I know.
Go ahead.
Sasha Banks. No, I like the way that's going, but I would like to see Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, and then Becky just come out and level them all.
Yeah.
You know? Becky.
Yeah, that's... We could just do Becky Lynch and then Sasha Banks on a repetitive loop.
All right, so
Wrong choice of words there, Stan.
Oh, wait. No. It was the right choice of words.
When you replay this later, all you hear is, what they really need to beep is Becky Lynch. Beep.
No, I had the right choice of words. I meant every word of it.
And now Eddie's going, and there's a reason I wasn't on the show the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. And now he's like, we're off the rails. Here we go.
we're not even into the first break, and this is going to the crapper.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Thank you, Tony Stewart, for winning today at Sonoma. Greatly appreciated, and thank you to Denny Hamlin for doing the honors.
Stan does honors sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know about you, Eddie, but when I saw that Denny put his bumper to Tony, I'm like, if Tony gets back to you, you're done.
And actually, that's good old fashioned hanging and banging racing they did. And then you don't always get that on a road course track, but I think that final lap and a half between Denny and Smoke was just classic in NASCAR.
Oh yeah, it was good. I was glad to see it. Apparently, there was a fight at the truck race on Friday, or Saturday night.
I just want to fish hook you right now.
And everybody's like making fun of it because they said it's like even worse than WWE.
I think Brian just told Rob he's got a pretty mouth. I don't know what the hell just happened.
I'm mesmerized by that region right there.
It's because we talked about NASCAR, and they're both sitting here going, "What?
I like NASCAR.
What's that stuff for?"
That's that sport where they go left.
Not today. They made left and rights and hairpins.
Oh, now I'm confused. No, just
Yeah,
stop.
I didn't know they made rights.
Yeah.
Welcome to the road course today. It was Sonoma, California. Beautiful day for a race.
Beautiful day for a race.
Beautiful day to sit on the side of the road, wait for your car to get towed.
Nah, that too. And by the same token, you catch the Rob, I assume, did you catch the little part where they had the thermometer inside Hamlin's car and it read like 103 degrees inside the car?
Oh, yeah.
They had a thermometer in his car.
And apparently, Dale Jr.'s like machine inside that, like a
got a
drink.
Yeah.
Apparently, had like a water
drink
thing
machine.
stop working.
Oh, hell with that. I'll be calling AAA going, you better get this fixed.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm Dale Jr. I better have a whole lot of Mountain Dew sitting here when I get to the
And
pit.
speaking of AAA, you said AAA. I'm sorry.
Oh, nicely
Well, I
played.
guess that's a subtle hint to get it back to the professional wrestling.
Get back to that wrestling stuff.
Wrestling in NASCAR.
Well, let's see. At least in NASCAR, you have 6 crew chiefs that are suspended for messing around with the car. In WWE,
How
you
did
have
they mess, or did they like
Wait.
idle it a little bit? Or?
Let me get the punchline here. Hold on, Brian. Let me get the punchline. At least in NASCAR, you have 6 crew chiefs that were suspended or on probation for messing with the cars. In WWE, you have a top flight star who got suspended for messing around with his pee.
Wow.
Well then.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And another one who got KTFO by mid-card indie talent.
Oh, Supermax. Oh, and that takes us to the
Latest headline. Yeah.
See, I know how to get things back on the rails. It just takes a minute.
Oh, all right, Eddie. So we're
In
going to
this
take
edition
a moment
of
here.
Stand Slam.
Yes, this is Stan Slam, and we're going to do y'all.
This is
a
brought
big
to you
favor.
by
Alcohol.
AA.
Yes, we're going to do y'all a big favor because we are actually going to read the string of text to get y'all up to speed. And by my count, it was 3,
Eddie,
6.
Can you do me
So
a
if
favor,
you
buddy?
have those people, you might want to call your sponsor.
Yep. Just don't even get your shot glasses out. Just get the bottle, take the top off, and get ready to turn it up.
And get a straw.
And I promise you, folks, they are evil bastards. I just
Yes.
want you to know this.
All right, so we were discussing the Cruiserweight tournament coming up, and Stan out of nowhere says, hey, did you know Supermex got knocked out by some dude backstage at an indie show? Rob says, really? I reply, it happens. Then I say, didn't you get knocked out one night at an indie show?
Knocked up.
Wasn't it called Star Aid, Night of the Mattress Thrasher?
No, you said it was knocked up, not knocked out.
Way to go.
Oh yeah, I did say knocked
go.
up. I was trying to not to, but that's one. I think that would be one. So Stan says, "LOL, typical." He just doesn't see it coming. Rob, and perhaps the new hashtag of the week,
Evil bastard.
says his ring name is the Lone Strangler, or wait for it, the Wanger Strangler. Yes. Stan says you guys are gross. I laugh at Wanger Strangler because I think that's hilarious.
And a lot cleaner than the word bastard.
Yes. Mhm.
Hey!
So would Stan Hansen, wouldn't he be proud of the Wanger?
A tiny
The
whiner.
tiny Wanger.
Ew, I smell, dude.
So later we go on to give Stan a tag team partner. I'm not sure if I can actually say this one. But it involves a blue vein and a mushroom head.
Purple.
So,
Well, he said it anyway.
yeah, I didn't put it together. I'm leaving this to your imagination. So there it is. We thought it was funny. We thought we didn't catch you up to speed. So y'all should be drinking a quarter of the bottle by now, depending on the size.
Size matters.
Stan, you want to take that one, bud?
Really, buddy? Really, Eddie?
Stan, this bottle of Diet Coke has your slogan on it.
Hold my hand.
Oh, wow.
This version of Stan Slam is brought to you by Patron and Jose Cuervo.
And maybe some Cavassa if you're...
Tim Meadows.
All the single ladies meet me by the nacho cart. How you doing? I'm the ladies' man.
How you doing?
All right, so
hold on. Do me a favor. Speaking of, real quick, on the how you doing? What did y'all think about the interaction from Monday Night Raw with Shane, Enzo, and Cass?
Loved it. The shoe comparison between the two of them was funny.
That was beautiful. The foot 5, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That just shows you where the direction's going.
Well, and that brings up an interesting question. Shane saying he's going to run SmackDown, and then he says, I'm going to run them both.
Well, if you catch, Stephanie said it the same thing last week.
Oh, yeah.
She said she was going to run SmackDown while she's running Raw. So obviously, you know.
Yeah, it's probably gonna. They're probably gonna bring back Johnny Ace.
No.
And
already
old
did
Teddy. I know, but for real this time.
Oh,
I mean, haha, we fooled y'all. They're really your general managers.
My whole
That
thing with the new era is they need to. They built it. They're trying to build it up. The new era. This new thing coming in. That fresh face. Because Shane kept saying that on his podcast with McFoley. They need fresh direction. They need things going. Everything's getting stale. It's the same old thing. Same thing all wrestling fans have been saying.
Yeah.
Well, now it's time for them to deliver. And we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if it would be somebody on a left field that you don't even see coming, that you wouldn't even link with the general manager spots.
What would you say if the next GM of SmackDown
Was me.
was the one and only Steve Corino?
I would have no problem with Steve Corino on that.
Mr. Wrestling 3.
Yeah. That's what's cool because, you know. Yeah.
What about somebody who they have under contract that they haven't utilized since the ECW days? And Joey Styles.
I like this thing. This is why they're my co-hosts, because they're smart.
I would much rather have him on the mic, though. I think
it's time to.
mic work.
I think, like, when they do change it up and they do the draft, they need to change up the announce teams.
I think
yeah.
Ronaldo needs to come on.
Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
The name before Joey Styles, who did you say?
Steve Corino.
Steve Corino.
The sound effect didn't play in.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said the darn sound effect didn't play in.
Oh, we got sound effects.
It was, no, it was gonna be it was gonna be
sound effects.
no, it was gonna be crickets.
Oh, I gotcha.
Damn.
Gotcha.
So you're saying you don't like Steve Corino?
I don't know Steve Corino that well to like or dislike. I mean,
All right,
I
I
just
asked about your professional relationship. I said my choice is GM.
Don't argue with the man who can turn us off.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
So what about the guy who I think came out in an interview and said, well, I had a nice little sit-down meeting with Vince and Triple H, and is now backtracking like a mug because it got out.
Yet again.
Because
this isn't, the third or fourth time he's done this.
Yes. What about Kurt Angle as a general manager?
Kurt Angle, former SmackDown general manager, definite Hall of Famer, WWE.
He's got good talent and work on the mic. I think you could have some decent stuff with him.
I think the WWE is trying to. I think on this time, I think they're just trying to snowball us. I think he probably will be back.
Oh, there's no. I mean, I don't see where, because much like AJ Styles. Because again, when AJ, everybody knew he was leaving, and he was like, "Well, you just have to watch Monday Night." Wink, wink. You know, and it happened. I think it's the same thing with Angle.
Yeah.
I don't know the role, but I wouldn't mind seeing him as general manager.
But you figure he's only got a little bit left in the tank, health-wise. At least you kind of hope so. You don't want to see him do what so many others have done and just go too long. I think as SmackDown GM, that's a fitting role. How does Kurt Angle close out his in-ring wrestling career? You say he goes to WWE with the current roster. Who's his last matches with? Do you have him go through like Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and just run through the new faces, or do you have him maybe do a one-off with The Rock?
I think I would use him kind of sparingly. You know, not like every week type thing.
Right.
And go tit for tat with some of these guys, and then the biggest opponent that he had from the past and still able to go. a guy that, the two of them put on a great WrestleMania match, and why not, if he can go, put Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle together?
Ugh.
I thought that match was good at WrestleMania.
It was good until the shooting star press of doom.
But we won't let him do that this time.
Thank God.
They'll be like, you didn't do it last time, you're not doing it this time, buddy.
So speaking of Brock Lesnar, what are y'all's thoughts on him on UFC 200?
When it comes to the announcement, smart business. I think WWE is able to cross-promote very well, and it only adds to the credibility to Brock Lesnar as a WWE superstar. So say he goes in the cage and he loses, gets knocked out. He's still in the UFC, which is more than any of them have ever done. Still legit badass. They can still play that. If he wins, you have a whole new problem. Because Dana White's going to want to put him back in the title picture.
That's fine.
So now his part-time contract becomes an even more part-time contract.
Well, yeah, but ultimately it gives both of them fans.
True.
So, and he's not used on a full-time basis anyway.
Right.
So
I think it's smart. I don't know much about Mark Hunt. I really don't. Eddie, do you have any information about him?
Mark Hunt is a hoss. When he is on top of his game, he is a knockout artist. As far as submissions go, he does have a good range of things that he can do as far as in the submission realm. But as far as it goes, he is known more for his power and his stand-up game than anything else. And I think this would actually play directly into the hands of Lesnar. Whereas Lesnar, of course, with his collegiate and professional wrestling background, especially the collegiate style, both gentlemen very well versed in the arts of jiu-jitsu as well. I think Hunt may have an advantage as far as his Muay Thai game goes. But as far as it goes, if Lesnar can take Hunt down to the ground, Lesnar can find a way to tie him up in knots.
Take him down.
But once again, the strength of Hunt, if he is 100% going into this fight, the strength is going to be probably in Hunt's favor, believe it or not. But I think that, and considering the fact that Hunt has not left MMA to go in pro wrestling or any other venue, he's going to have a definite experience advantage in that regard as well. All signals would point to the fact that Hunt could win this very easily. And if Lesnar's not careful, it could be a first round out.
That's what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that the experts are saying it'll be lucky if this goes past the first round.
Yeah.
The other part of this now is coming on the heels of Brock Lesnar's announcement. CM Punk's debut is officially announced for September at UFC 203, I believe.
So you can have Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk in the Octagon. Winner gets Vince McMahon.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That would be interesting.
Vince
I think
Money in the Bank.
I want to see CM Punk one time before I would throw him to Brock Lesnar.
So we talked about Brock Lesnar. He comes back, whether he wins or loses, he wins, really.
Right.
Well, with CM Punk, if he debuts and gets knocked out, what are your thoughts on that? And before you answer, thank you, Rob, we're going to go ahead and head into our first break of the evening. When we come back, we'll answer the question of the thoughts about CM Punk. And
we'll find out what Brian thinks after the break.
Hello again, everybody, and this is Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Radio for the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join us every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with myself, Rob Hefner, and Brian Taylor as we bring you our thoughts and feelings on the world of professional wrestling and everything in between. As my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week. We look forward to seeing you. Thanks again for listening to the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clive Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Lane, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Lane, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
And
what's going on, everybody? We're back live
preempted by the FCC
on Corner to Corner Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Stop it!
This is Corner to Corner signing off.
Oh my
We're
God!
now Corner to Corner from Sing Sing Prison.
Guys, did you
Corner
know
to Corner be entered tonight with more episodes of The Pat Robertson Show.
Screw that.
that? So screwed.
I will shut
All
the
right.
station
Guys,
down
did
until
you
we
know
get that changed.
Not only is Corner to Corner international to Canada, thanks to you two,
Yay.
we are worldwide.
Worldwide.
Prestige, worldwide.
Prestige. Worldwide.
We are in the United Kingdom. Thank you, and hello to
UK.
London. We're in France. We are in Bolivia.
Bolivia. Wow.
Brazil.
Seth's parents are talking. Listen.
Yeah. A couple of big highfalutin drug lords
Yeah.
are probably. Ooh, these guys are funny when I do some coke.
No, no.
Listen to
They
this
send us
drink
the
on-
they send us the good coffee.
Yeah.
We listen to this Beyond
Oh,
Ringside to throw off the
great. That's
FBI.
fine. That's fine. Yeah.
FBI
These two have
listen.
just admitted that there's some smuggling going on with the program. That's fine. That's
What do you
fantastic.
mean with these two? They're hidden in
What?
your house.
No.
While FBI listen to my radio, I put it on Beyond Ringside and throws them off while I make secret deal in other room.
And of
That's
course,
Russian. That's more Russian.
we are also in Sweden.
Sweden. I loved it.
Oh,
Pretty
I love
awesome,
Sweden.
guys.
I love Sweden.
I
You
love
know,
Sweden.
more specifically in the local area.
Local area.
Ashburn, Virginia.
Ashburn.
Big shout out to the
Yeah.
folks over in Ashburn. I was
Right
looking
down
at
the road.
a stat report. I actually have it here, Rob. You can see it. 23% of our listenership so far for the month is coming from Ashburn.
Woohoo!
Ashburn.
Redskin territory.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Could be some Mr. Snyder if you're listening. I would like
Hail
tickets.
to the corner.
Yeah.
That's blasphemy.
You're right. You're right. It is blasphemy.
I will cut both of your throats. I will
Oh,
whip y'all
stand
like
up.
a government mule.
Stan's a Panthers fan. He's been a Panthers fan as long as
No,
since he
he's
was a
been a-
Seahawks
No,
fan.
he's
And
been
Hey,
a Panthers
then he was
fan
a
since
Cowboys
they were
fan after
invented.
before
Yeah,
that.
I've been a Panthers fan since they were born.
Yeah. Which,
Be
and that
fair.
long
Be
ago.
fair.
I will say that he does
Have y'all
own
gotten
a
a
Jake
title
Delhomme
yet, or
jersey.
y'all keep choking on it?
Oh.
Oh,
See.
wow. I just didn't know.
NFC title.
Foul.
A
NFC
few
titles,
of those, but you choke
Few of
on the
those.
big
So you don't
one.
have four of them, huh?
Yeah. But you choke on the big one? Is that what you're saying? Choke?
You do that pretty good. Are you used to
Choking on the big one?
Brian, you realize that puts the Panthers in the same class as Tom Brady and the New England Patriots whenever they face the New York Giants.
What?
Choking
Yeah, but
on the big one.
Hey, you're not supposed to join in
The
this.
Patriots have how many world titles?
Okay, how long have the Patriots been around?
They got
didn't just
around.
start
I mean,
getting
you gotta
them, what,
remember-
99, 2000?
No, you got to remember this was going all the way back to going back to prehistoric era when Belichick would send somebody to do a stone etching of the other team's defense.
Are you like a Jets fan or something? Do I hear some disdain in your voice for the Patriots?
I'm a Falcons fan.
Oh,
don't like
the
the
Dirty
Patriots either.
Birds.
He's a dirty bird.
And actually, okay, let's see. I respect anything that the Cowboys did before Jerry Jones. The only thing that Jerry Jones did that I actually like is shorten the Cowboy cheerleaders' uniforms.
Yeah.
Hey, can I tell you though that Jerry Glanville was one of my favorite coaches?
Actually, one of my favorite coaches of all time was Bum Phillips.
Yeah, he was a little bit before my time. I like Jerry Glanville.
Former.
He was a wacky dude.
Getting back to us, because that's what's most important.
Okay,
No, Stan,
we're
because
back on track.
Nobody wants to hear anything about the...
Thomas the
When we stop talking about...
Okay, all right, let's go.
Just a couple of quick shouts. Fredericksburg, Virginia, of course.
That's
Close
your
to our
mom.
hearts.
Is that you listening?
Every day. All day, every day.
You make your mom listen?
All right. Get him back on track.
Got some fellas in Richmond. Of course,
How do you know
Chester
they're
Springs,
fellas?
Pennsylvania.
Ooh, Pennsylvania.
Where's that at?
Mountain View, California. Bumpus, Virginia.
Bumpus.
Y'all know anybody in Bumpass?
I don't know.
They
Hey,
don't-
don't
Hey,
insult
that's
them.
a suburb.
They don't know Bumpus.
That's 3% of our viewership.
And Lansdowne, Pennsylvania. That's kind of the rundown. It's pretty cool just doing some of the research on that. Also, I did see that we are listed in a whole bunch of different directories that I wasn't aware of. Eddie, you were kind of telling us about it a few weeks ago.
Hey, Stan,
Yes, sir.
let's do that at the end.
At the end.
Now,
All right.
let's talk wrestling, what everybody listens for.
You want to talk
Hey,
about
go-
wrestling?
Look, watch. As he's watching, we're not talking about it. The blips are starting to disappear. We had some people in Richmond.
Now everybody's listening from Culpeper because that's where we're at.
I mean, you had a lot of big stuff. You had the Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
That I hear is great.
Roderick Strong
Roderick
left.
Strong's last night in Ring of Honor.
Left to
And the
God
barely
knows where.
and the barely put on Slammiversary. Brought to you by Payday Loans.
We're not done yet. Not done with ROH before I let y'all slam it.
So, Roderick Strong's last night in Ring of Honor was
Mr.
officially
ROH.
last night.
Friday night.
And
That's the pay-per-view.
what I haven't seen a lot of is any reports of if Roderick Strong is on his way somewhere, like New Japan, TNA, or NXT, WWE.
I think
Batista's
his
house.
statement is there are big things in the works. Just stand by or whatever. But I haven't seen it either. I was half expecting him to be announced for the Cruiserweight tournament.
Right.
They had their little parade of talent come out. I was expecting him to be like a surprise entrant or something. But I lucked out on that one. I didn't get that one. So hopefully he'll show back up soon.
Now, one of the things that you brought up earlier that still has me a little baffled is the return of
The grandfather, Kevin Sullivan.
the Taskmaster.
No, I think he's called the grandfather. After the interview with Whitmer and Kevin Sullivan, because it's very confusing, because they talk about him being the grandfather, the father, Whitmer being the son,
Grandmaster Flash.
Carino being the son. It's so confusing. Kevin Sullivan
Is it
hits
still-
his head a couple of times, gives the whole beady eye thing where they roll up in his head. It was very confusing. Typical Kevin Sullivan.
Still the Alliance Den Hulkamania.
Quite possibly.
Do me a
What?
actually, guys, do me a favor. You mentioned Kevin Sullivan. Don't forget, Kevin Sullivan was actually in a very crazy brawl against the Bulldozer Matt Tremont with H2O Wrestling at Hardcore Hustle. Some pictures have actually been posted on Tremont's Facebook page, and that event will be available very soon on DVD, MP4, and video on demand. So keep your eyes open. H2O Wrestling, Kevin Sullivan versus the Bulldozer Matt Tremont.
And I'm glad you brought up the hardcore aspect because Whitmer and Carino were in one of those without honor matches.
Right.
And I don't want to give away the ending, but a golden spike came into play, which is very much classic Kevin
Beautiful.
Sullivan. Yes. Whitmer was bleeding quite nicely during the interview, so I have yet to see it, but I will watch it before too long.
This one is just coming in about 10 o'clock this morning outside of Ring of Honor, but I had to bring it up because we've spent so much time dedicated to one of these gentlemen's matches as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Announced for August 12th, 2016 will be Will Ospreay versus Big Van Vader.
Get out of here.
It is booked for Revolution Pro Wrestling, York Hall, Bethnal Green, Friday, August 12th. It's official. I am stunned.
That's just
that's a little crazy booking right there.
I'm not sure that's going to work to Vader's favor. And if I'm Will Ospreay...
I mean, what is he, like 60?
Well, I mean, the only thing I can tell you is that he's still a big, tough dude. And if I'm Will Ospreay, I would think twice about letting him get his hands on him. I have a feeling he's trying to teach him an old school lesson.
Ospreay cannot have the same match that he had against the other guy. Ricochet.
Yep. Or any of the other
guys. He can't have any of those kind of matches with somebody like Vader.
Right.
Because Vader, one, can't do that. Or, I mean, not can't, but it's just that's not Vader's style. It never has been Vader's style. And so, but the argument, when you brought it up, the argument I heard on other podcasts, this last one, was that they kind of agree with Vader.
Yeah.
That what Ospreay and Ricochet did was not your typical pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That it was performance art.
Well, but here's the thing. You have plenty of federations that have been around since that time that have a very similar style. All you have to do is go south of the border.
Right.
I mean, they are dedicated to a completely different style, more upbeat, more high-flying moves, everything. I think the problem lies is that these two, much like Cam Newton, is on a different level. I'll give him his props, but they're on a different level. They're on a different level. That match is, you've never seen that match
level.
Before. Oh. No, I'll give him his props. But you've never seen that type of match before. So I think that's their problem. They can't do it. They're jealous that these two are going to, they're the future.
Outshine them. Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of validity to that. Hey, the question we didn't answer when we came back from break?
Mm-hmm.
Brian.
What?
Your thoughts on if CM Punk debuts and loses, how devastating is that to his UFC career? Is it one and done if he loses?
Well, that would be purely an ego thing on Punk's part. But, in an MMA environment, you got to understand that you're going to have mofos that are a lot better than you.
Yep.
And you're going to get your tail whooped, and then you're going to whoop some tail. And even if it's your first match, unless they handpick, some little guy to just tear into, it may happen your first match.
Yeah.
So you have to, be mentally ready for it. I mean, you can't pull a Ronda Rousey and lose and then be like, I'm just going to quit. You can't do it. And I don't think CM Punk will.
Eddie passes along a note here in the production chat. Batista tweeting his support for Roderick Strong. And some people are taking that as a hint that Roddy's headed for WWE.
Who cares what Batista thinks?
It's kind of odd. I mean, he just kind of puts it out there.
That's just like Big E tweeting, "Hey, American Alphas, I'll see you when you come up." Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just trolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure Big E did it, but he was probably just goofing off.
Well, and probably it's somebody like interns sitting there doing it for him anyway.
Well, I don't know with them three. I think them three probably do.
I think some of them do run their own Twitter accounts, and then others are like, "Yeah, John Cena says you're the greatest. Thanks."
Yeah, I can see like Apollo there hijacking other people's crap. Don't leave your phone laying around, or he's just going to drag it.
And you're sitting in with Vince's office. I didn't say it.
It wasn't me. All right, so Ring of Honor's pay-per-view, as I understand it, one of the other things that happens at Ring of Honor's pay-per-view
people actually watch it?
There's something to be said for that. As funny as it is, there is something to be said for the fact that it's drawing buy rates. But the other thing I heard, and I can only say heard because I haven't had a chance to watch the pay-per-view, that Jay Lethal was beat down by the Bullet Club.
I know he won, and that's about as far as I read. I didn't see if there was a post-match beating. But it wouldn't shock me with Adam, being so strong in ROH to push him to the title.
Yeah.
So, I think the Bullet Club won their match. Yeah, I think it was a 6-man match that they won. The Addiction beat the Machine Guns. Of course, Whitmer beat Carino. I'm trying to remember what the other ones were.
Since you asked.
Alrighty.
Let's go to the videotape.
Let's see here. Kyle O'Reilly wins with an armbar over, daggone it, I had his name here. Where did it go? Kamatachi? There we go.
Kamatachi.
Bless you.
After the match, in a despicable show of disrespect, Kamatachi spit on O'Reilly's hand in spite of to not do the handshake. Stormed out of the ring. Silas Young lost to ACH.
That's crazy. The last real man in pro wrestling. That's a shame.
Mark Briscoe defeated Roderick Strong with a Fisherman Buster to send Roddy on his way out. After the match, Strong, who announced earlier this week that he was leaving Ring of Honor for other opportunities, shook Briscoe's hand and embraced him. As Strong exited the ring, fans paid tribute to Mr. ROH by chanting, "Thank you, Roddy." Bullet Club's Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, defeated Moose and War Machine, Raymond Rowe and Hanson. Young Bucks.
Super kick, baby.
The Young Bucks hit the 5-star Meltzer driver.
There it is.
On Moose.
You announced. You said it. You said the name.
But he can always change it to something else, I guess.
Stand
But what
screwed
about the people
up.
live?
Stand screwed
Yeah, they're
up. Stand
Hey,
screwed
we were going to do
up.
it.
I'm sorry.
Go keep going, though.
I'm sorry.
You'll say it again in a minute. I know
I'm
you
sorry.
will.
I'm sorry.
When you get to the addiction, you'll say
The
it.
Addiction defeated the Motor City Machine Guns thanks to an assist from an unlikely source. Now, this is from Ring of Honor, ROHWrestling.com directly.
Stan can reach. Stan can reach.
During the match, Kamatachi came down to ringside, started a fight with New Japan Pro Wrestling young lion Jay White, who was seated in the front row. While the referee was distracted by the brawl between Kamatachi and White on the floor, Daniels took out Shelley with a low blow. Shortly thereafter, the Addiction hit the... Go ahead, say it, Brian.
Nope, not going to do it. I told you I would.
The best Meltzer ever.
Told you. Told you were going to do it twice.
You dirty
You
bastard.
didn't want to listen.
After the match, Kamatachi celebrated with the Addiction. Apparently, he has joined forces with the Addiction now. BJ Whitmer, as Brian said, beat Steve Corino in an ultimate fight without honor.
Maybe Stan can't read.
But Whitmer didn't do it alone. Corino, who had one of the front teeth knocked out early in the match, and Whitmer were both bleeding profusely when the lights suddenly went out. He came back on. One of the most wicked men ever in pro wrestling.
Ever.
Kevin Sullivan was standing in the ring. Sullivan drove the golden spike into Corino's forehead, and Whitmer follows with an exploder suplex for the win. Gone.
Now, I would have liked to have seen the crowd reaction to that, because that would be like so far out in left field. I don't see how you ever would have seen that one take place.
You know, I'm going to have to try to catch that up because I want to hear the reaction.
Yeah.
Was it a "Who are you?"
Yeah,
chant, or was it,
because you know ROH, they'll do stuff like that.
Yeah.
They'll get all over them. But
Bobby Fish successfully defends the Ring of Honor television title against Dalton Castle.
Which is supposed to be a good match from what I do here.
I like Dalton Castle. He's pretty cool.
You just like his, what you call them, the little boys or whatever, the young boys or whatever that come out with them.
Always taking it there, are you?
Stan's
I'm
just
always
jealous.
taking it there.
He wants his own little boys.
The All Night Express, Red Titus and Kenny King came out with the Minister of Information, Caprice Coleman. Minister of Information. Okay. The trio announced that they will now be referred to as the Cabinet.
The Cabinet.
And claimed that they would make wrestling great again. Didn't we learn? Has wrestling not learned from history that when JBL had the Cabinet, it sucked them too?
Well, yeah, but why don't they just turn on Raw and watch Darren Young
and make Darren Young great
and Bob
again?
Backlund and make him great? So that everybody need to be great. Yeah.
Okay.
That is the most horrible segment.
Yeah. I don't.
I think
I fast forwarded.
I'd actually think I'd like to hear. I'd much rather hear Roman Reigns on the mic than that stupid.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but Reigns doesn't say anything, so
I am the guy that got suspended.
You know, when he comes back after his suspension, he's going to get to certain towns like Philly, Chicago, and they're going to not let up.
Here's
ever.
the thing.
Like, if he's at MSG, oh my God, it's over.
MSG.
It's over, Prime.
Here's the thing. When he comes back, there's always got to be somebody in the bunny suit.
Oh.
All right, so we're not going to let Reigns hijack this again.
Right.
Moving on. Sorry, Rob.
Biggest rematch in Ring of Honor history. Wow! That was 1 year in the making. Ring of Honor World Champion Jay Lethal defeated Jay Briscoe to prove once again that he is truly the best in the world.
I was kind of shocked at that. I figured Briscoe was going to get it.
I don't really know.
I mean, I like Jay Lethal, but I thought Briscoe was going to get it.
The only thing is, with a guy like Jay Lethal, I mean, they put so much time and effort into making sure that he is recognized as the longest reigning champion and all that. But it seems like he's defended against the same guys. I mean, when I read information from it, it seems like he's fighting the same guys all the time.
Production
Well,
chat.
I think Ring of Honor is set up where you have top-tier talent.
Right.
And then you have, your mid-cards who not really are mid-cards. They're kind of top-tier talent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they're off doing their other stuff.
Lethal hits a top rope cutter and followed with lethal injection for the victory. Epic encounter. Lethal and Briscoe shook hands. Now, I had read that the Bullet Club jumped him. Maybe this was at a TV taping. So.
Yeah, it might have been a couple weeks ago or something.
So this puts Jay Lethal as the Ring of Honor champion for the better part of a year. Eddie puts this out there. Since he's a main belt holder, mainstream fans seem to constantly overlook, and the question is why. I think maybe it's to my point. The guys he's defended against have been pretty much the same people.
Oh, I think it's because ROH is almost like ECW. There's a hardcore following.
Yeah, definitely.
But it is not mainstream. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like a WWE crowd. That's mainstream. I think ROH, if you watch it, you love it, but it's more of a cult type following right now.
You see a company like Ring of Honor, and the question becomes, what do they have to do to step out of
They don't have to do
to
anything.
mainstream?
I don't think they want to do anything.
Right.
I think they're happy right where they are.
And
I think the best thing that they're doing is staying right where they are.
To me, if you want to step out, you pick a 8 o'clock time slot on a major network
And just do what you've been doing.
and do what you've been doing. But again, that changes you, and it may change you in such a way that you can't ever go back.
Right.
So much like ECW. I think once ECW was like, we're going to leave our little niche audience who's made us, what we are, and, get other people involved, and that
also puts you on the WWE radar to where they don't want you.
Right.
Right now, Ring of Honor operates its own little thing in its own little world, and WWE could care less. They'll take talent from them and they'll send them talent, but they're not they got a relationship. TNA took that step up, and look what happened.
True.
WWE's like, wait a minute.
Now,
WWE did exactly what WCW did to WWE.
Exactly. We're heading to the bottom of the hour break here. When we come back, I want to take the time and go through Steve Austin's interview with AJ Styles, because I think this interview did wonders for both WWE in a global standing and recognizing outside companies, but also asked questions that a lot of people wanted to hear the answers to for a long time. We'll get into that and much, much more right here after the break.
Hey, I didn't have to tell him to take a break.
We're learning.
He's learning.
We're learning.
Stan's growing up.
We're getting better. My buddy.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Bring you what?
Bring us in, sir.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for the second time.
Kids, Don't do drugs.
Welcome to the second hour, Corner to Corner. We're here talking about the recent events in WWE, Ring of Honor, and other federations around the world. And yes, so Ring of Honor had a great pay-per-view.
Yes, they did.
Had a great one. I heard it's great. I didn't see it. But I also hear that the other federation that shall be nameless, or soon out of business, almost didn't get their pay-per-view off the ground.
No. Apparently, yet again, TNA decided, hey, we're going to not write any checks for a while. We're just going to wait. And the production staff didn't really feel comfortable with this. So uncomfortable, in fact, that they almost didn't go on and do the pay-per-view.
That's like your cousin coming to you saying, hey, can I borrow $50? I wrote you a check. Just don't cash it for a month. You know? But real quickly, to get off of that, I just want to say thoughts and prayers of Corner to Corner out to the West Virginia and Appalachian area as they are recovering. Yeah. But
absolutely.
Eddie said something in our production chat that I agreed with. Like, I kind of missaid what I was trying to say about Ring of Honor.
Okay.
To jump back there, is that it's not that they don't care. The WWE doesn't care about Ring of Honor. It's just, I think you could kind of look at Ring of Honor as another NXT for the WWE.
Oh, I agree.
Because you can get talent, they can hone their skills, and then WWE can sit there and go, all right, we want that one.
Right.
You know, we want that one. Oh, let's take that one and take him to NXT and see what we can do.
Right.
But anyway, back to TNA. I didn't see it. Anybody say?
I didn't really see much the same.
I heard some of the matches were good. Like the top card was good, I hear. But
Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy had a great match. Which is to be expected. The two of them have a good working chemistry.
I mean, God, by now they've wrestled how many times?
It's a lot. I still don't like the whole Hobo Hardy thing. The whole, like, freaky hairdo. And
I just like the way he talks.
It's weird, man. It's
Hobo
weird.
Hardy.
You're freaking weird, Matt Hardy.
Can you just see that?
Good wrestler, but you're freaking weird.
Imagine if he had that in the WWE, okay? If he was Hobo Hardy in the WWE.
He'd have been making billions.
They'd be selling wigs.
Yes.
Hey, stop it.
Oh, Brian has pulled out the little tiny bear claw. He is now rubbing his neck with the tiny bear claw.
You know, in Pro Wrestling from Hollywood, or whatever it was called, what was that?
Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
It, yeah. They had a hobo character. He was quite entertaining. He was quite
Jarvis Cottonbelly, and the lovable hobo, I think is his name.
he was actually quite
Championship Wrestling from Hollywood Tag Team Champions.
I'm thinking of the merchandise the WWE could do with Hobo Hardy. They could do the whole hobo wig. They could do the t-shirts. They could do like
coats,
hobo bag, like Hobo Hardy knapsack.
They could sell pianos because you've seen the creepy thing where he plays the piano. He's freaking weird.
I mean, think his figure alone could be like limited edition with his own shopping cart full of hobo stuff.
You could have it so like you have to buy like 10 figures just to get Hobo Hardy's complete set.
You know, like each figure comes with a different sign.
Brother Nero. This is freaking weird. What are you doing, TNA? What?
But I mean, come on. My thing about it is, yes, you have a great like base there with the Hardys.
Yes,
but how many times do we need to have Jeff Hardy? You hurt me. I don't like you. You've always held me down, and blah 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 blah.
Stop beating my counter. It ain't that bad, Rob.
You're right, Eddie. It is bad when TNA is rehashing old Omega gimmicks. Omega, by the way, is the indie fed out of North Carolina.
Local
regional wrestling professional blah 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 promotion.
Just say professional wrestling promotion.
Professional wrestling promotion.
There you go. How about that, Eddie? That worked?
Running down in North Carolina. Which is now actually running with Shane Helms, predominantly.
Well, how does Shane Helms do that if he's down in TNA?
They don't have the same kind of contracts that we see at WWE. They can do independent work as long as they're...
Wouldn't he be tied up at TNA as a manager who may wrestle one day? I think he's got a hangnail.
Have you seen his Hurricane Helms belt?
I love that Hurricane Helms belt. That's actually pretty awesome looking. Oh, goodness gracious. So... Guys, the thing I really wanted to dive into this hour was Stone Cold Steve Austin's interview with AJ Styles. One of the first things that jumped out about this interview was that Steve Austin held absolutely nothing back He asked every question that I could think of that I would ask in that scenario. He was not afraid to give him advice. He was a little nervous. It seemed like AJ Styles was
Big
nervous.
word. Scenario.
Scenario. I'm using that thesaurus again. But one of the coolest parts was when he actually forced AJ Styles and WWE, indirectly, to talk about TNA. When he asked AJ Styles, why leave TNA? And his answer was really good. He said that they were recognizing and developing talents that came from WWE and putting them in a higher spot, paying them more, instead of doing what they should have done, which is staying true to their originals. They even asked him to take a pay cut. Now, a lot of this is public knowledge. It's not really a secret. But the fact that it was done on a WWE network program was a big deal from my perspective.
That was brought to you by Vince Doesn't Care.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think that WWE has no problems with.
If you
dropping
can't pay
the
your
nail.
talent, you can't pay a lawyer. You're like,
Oh, this just did for TNA legal. Oh, wait.
that's my cousin.
Cousin Earl. I think it's one of those things where AJ Styles is one of those rare talents that can probably get away with talking about anything he wants as long as he's not breaking any FCC kind of rules.
Well, it might be like the
Does
WWE.
FCC do that on the network that's on the internet?
Yeah,
Nah, I mean they could.
yeah.
But I think WWE is also at the PG scenario right now. There you go, using it again.
I think that's probably the closest you're going to get to a WWE quote unquote shoot interview.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
Well, I mean, it's edited as the world is these days.
True.
well, that was live, wasn't it?
It was. It did
Yeah.
broadcast live. At first, where Austin is talking to AJ about when you get an opportunity to put the boots to John Cena, you go out there, and then he was proceeded to be edited or censored for about 5 minutes as he was cussing at AJ Styles.
See, Eddie, if Austin can do it, why can't I? Is he typing?
he just typed no.
Not that big yet, huh?
I mean,
This from the general manager.
I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was one of the better Austin podcasts. I haven't had as much enjoyment off of one except for when he admitted to falling on something in the bathroom.
Yeah.
that one was pretty awesome.
Sorry, Steve.
Who knew a loofah could be that dangerous?
The fire department didn't even know.
And then he still took pictures with them.
Oh, how can you not? It's like, buddy, I want a picture. Or I'm going to tell.
Yeah. I've got this text ready to send.
This is going to TMZ.
The call comes in. The dispatchers put it into a CAD report. It's got your name and what happened. So,
Inside baseball here. So, AJ Styles did bring up something that I think we're learning a lot more and more as we continue to see TNA struggle, and that's that Dixie Carter is a fan of those people that she watched on television growing up. So when we saw guys like Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff get to almost said WCW, get the TNA.
And I think, to me, that's where TNA started going down.
I agree.
Is when they brought in all those people all at one time. Because they brought in Hogan the same time that they turned around and brought in Flair.
Yep.
They brought in Bischoff. And then they brought in...
The Nasty Boys.
And they brought in all of them. And you're bringing in... You're trying to recapture what WCW had at the end.
Yep.
And it didn't work.
One of the other things that stood out in the interview was AJ Styles talks about post WCW.
WCW.
He was in the last year of WCW's run. He's the Air Raid. Him and Air Paris were a tag team. They were told their contracts weren't going to get picked up, so AJ starts working for NWA Wildside and gives an awesome shout out to the one, the only Reverend Dan Wilson, which I thought was really cool. That was Dan Dragon Wilson that he mentioned. That's the good Reverend. one of the other cool parts
From the Midnight Black Mass?
From the Midnight Black
Way to
Here?
plug the show, buddy.
Here on Beyond Ringside?
Right here. I mean, on
ProWrestling.net?
ProWrestlingRadio.net.
Yeah.
How do you like that? We're getting better every week.
Woo!
You just can't beat that.
And, wait a minute. Does that show just not happen to follow this show?
Well, yes, it does.
Corner to corner?
Wow.
Pillar to post?
Just when I thought y'all couldn't get any better. Plug it. Plug it, baby. Plug it like your hair.
All that's brought to you by the great Fast Teddy Lane.
Wow.
Really?
All right, keep
Gotta
going.
take it back from here? I mean,
Keep going with AJ.
You're gonna go bald one day. One day.
I doubt it, missing link.
Yes, sir.
Actually,
right.
unfortunately, Dan is preempted this evening. He will be back on next Sunday.
So that means we can run late? We can run over. Is that what he's telling us? We can go over. Is he typing? Did he say?
He's not typing.
This
just in from the incoming.
We can keep talking all he wants. He's done hit mute on his side.
All right, so get back to AJ Styles.
So AJ talks about his journey, basically going through. You guys may remember the promotion that was running out of Australia, WWA.
Mm-hmm. I think we caught a few,
all that. Yep.
few pay-per-views. Mm-hmm.
Talks about going from there to working in Ring of Honor with Christopher Daniels. Mm-hmm. Enjoy that grilled cheese, buddy. Eddie's busy. Not steak and potatoes this time.
Right.
I'm proud of him. He's making a dietary change. Good for you, buddy.
He could have bacon in it. May not be quite the dietary.
The Baconator.
Could be the bacon. And then TNA after Ring of Honor.
Right. That's where he really got into the conversation about TNA and what they were doing. And one of the things he points out is the six-sided ring versus the four-sided ring.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about taking a belly-to-belly superplex from Kurt Angle in the six-sided ring, swearing he'd never do it again. Mm-hmm. Hogan comes in with Bischoff. They decide they're going to go to the standard ring, which, as a side note, he didn't understand. He said, why would we want to do something that makes us just like everybody else?
Exactly. Six-sided ring, you were different.
Exactly. Well, however...
Then you brought in the four-sided ring and then even did the old WCW walk-up ramp.
Right.
But AJ puts it quite eloquently here.
When he takes yet another superplex from Kurt Angle, this time in a four-sided ring, as he stated, it was like heaven. Like landing on a cloud, comparatively. I think that is what ultimately swayed even the most diehard TNA originals to be okay with the four-sided ring. As long as they were able to put in a good quality product in the ring, then they felt like they were going to be...
No matter what you're in.
Well, for longevity, because I wouldn't have known the difference either until he said something. So
right.
I guess with the engineering, it would probably be just engineered different. There would have to be more supports on it or something somewhere.
Right, a lot stiffer.
Not enough give, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the interview itself, there wasn't like any kind of controversial parts. It wasn't like a tell-all. But it was a good chronicling of AJ Styles' career going from WCW, working out through the indies, the promotions in the Southeast, like he did with NWA Wildside, of course through Georgia and Alabama, and really ultimately cutting his teeth the old-fashioned way.
Right.
And it wasn't like what we hear about now, where you've got a guy from the NFL that just boom catches on. It's somebody that worked his way up, and I thought it was a good story. I mean, it really painted a good, favorable picture of AJ Styles, and to your point earlier on, really proves that AJ Styles is worth and deserving of that main spot.
That's right, Meltzer. AJ didn't go to the WWE looking to be a mid-carder. The WWE went to him for a main eventer. I'm done. No more ranting.
That's the third time.
I did say his name. I'm sorry, but you started it. You got two of them in before I did.
Sorry.
So moving on.
Now, if they take the podcast and make like the other programs on the network is nice,
Eddie can always bleep it out.
I'm sure it'll be like
Felter. We call him Felter.
Felter.
Yeah.
Morgan. Like when you're watching the shows that have been edited for TV, and it's like obviously the mouth's not saying what it's.
Yeah.
And it's some other voice,
Franklin Delano. Shut the front door.
It's like a woman talking. All of a sudden, there's his voice going in. Hello. Wait a minute, that's not a female voice.
I'm gonna kick your father. Oh, hi.
But it's interesting that, like in the old days, you have a group of wrestlers that kind of cut their teeth the same way, come up the same way. Their career paths are kind of follow each other, and everywhere they go, they just they made magic. So,
and I do kind of believe that there was a part of Vince McMahon with AJ Styles that thought, I didn't make this guy. He's not my created star. But I think at the same time, when he debuted at Royal Rumble, there was no question. You didn't have a choice. You were going to put him in a main role.
Well, I'll put it to you like this, because, again, when I read this, I got mad. Because I think that was the dumbest thing I'd read by somebody that claims to be a reputable writer. And it's kind of like watching Fox News or MSN or CNN, and they come up with some stupid story that don't make no sense.
Right.
That's 90% of what they do.
Correct. That's why I don't watch the news that much. However, here's
so parted their hair wrong today.
Here's my thing about Vince McMahon. And all the years I've watched wrestling, and all the internet I've done looked at, and I've never seen Vince McMahon in a John Cena shirt, or an Undertaker, or Shawn Michaels, or even his son-in-law. I've never seen him in a Triple H shirt. But there's a photo of him taking a selfie in a Bullet Club shirt at his house after stating, they're coming. We've hired them. The world knows. You don't put on somebody's shirt and advertise to the world and let it be known that you like these guys only to bring them in and put them at such a low rank. What are y'all looking at?
Vince McMahon in a Bullet Club t-shirt.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
The shower is the size of my house.
Again, you find me one with him wearing any other t-shirt.
Yep.
Other than that gray...
workout shirt that he always has.
Yeah, I don't even think he's ever worn one to the ring whenever he's come out in anything but a suit and tie.
Does he have to buy those shirts?
So
I'm pretty sure Vince doesn't pay for those t-shirts.
So I think about that when the guys come to the ring. Do they have to buy those shirts? If they throw out, or is it like just the price of the cost of doing business?
I think in a lower caliber promotion, they probably do. Like Ring of Honor probably has to a degree. You pay for your own gear, you pay for your own shirts. But I think after you get to a certain amount, you're able to. They kind of fit the bill. Oh, goodness gracious.
I mean, the thing about it is Vince didn't create the Bullet Club, and you can't ignore
No,
that,
because it is truly global. I mean, it is everywhere.
I mean, it's kind of like, I kind of compare it to, like, when the Road Warriors finally came to WWE.
Right.
They had to call them the Legion of Doom. But how often did they slip up after a while and just call them the Legion of Doom Road Warriors?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
because that's what they were. They were the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom. And, the Bullet Club. They've even said it numerous times on TV.
Yeah.
They're like, the Bullet Club. Or, the club.
Right. Lita said it.
Yep.
Bradshaw said it.
And Cena's used it as
Cena did it.
They've got it in their tights. So, I mean...
I think ultimately it's just a decision of when it comes to the name, the Bullet Club, it's just, is Vince willing to pay for the licensing of it? And most likely he's not. But if it goes out there on TV, if it goes on the airwaves, it's not like he's going to...
Well, Vince has got plausible deniability. I mean, he can say, listen, my standard of practicing is we don't say that. But, hey, if they slip up and say it...
Right, exactly.
Oops.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the question, I guess, would be is if anybody actually owns the rights to it.
A New Japan.
So...
New Japan.
But you never know. They could ultimately make a great arrangement with them to, hey, let's make this more global.
Right.
Start making.
You give us Bullet Club, we'll give you Fandango.
Well, just let us use the Bullet.
Please take Fandango.
Let us
give us Bullet Club, we'll give you Roman Reigns.
Let us use the name. That's all they got.
Roman Reigns would get eaten alive in Japan. That would be an ugly, ugly scene.
Ospreay kicking right in the nose.
I am a Reigns fan, but I know you put him in there with Okada.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Sorry, buddy.
I think that's my other problem with this little article. And I get a little tired of hearing about it. I know the WWE...
You're the one that keeps bringing it up!
But listen to the point.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Because I get tired of them saying that the WWE is the best out there when 95% of them couldn't cut it anywhere else.
True.
Yes.
What are y'all looking at?
A photo of Becky Lynch wearing a Bullet Club t-shirt.
So what?
Yes, sir.
Say that again. Wait. Say that again.
Down. I think you're right. I think.
No, wait.
Seltzer.
I want to hear him say that one more time.
Give it back to
me.
Yes.
Yes. Play
I said 95% of the WWE roster probably couldn't survive anywhere else.
Depends on who it is and where you put them.
That's why there's 5%.
Wow.
5% can make it. 95 cannot.
Okay, put it this way. I don't see John Cena making it in Ring of Honor. I don't see John Cena making it in TNA. I don't see him making it in New Japan.
Get your censor button ready. Bullshit.
I think he'd be monstrous in New Japan. However, he may not be able.
128.17.
Sorry, Eddie. I think that John Cena could hang in Ring of Honor.
I don't know about Ring of Honor.
I think he could hang and most definitely dominate in TNA.
No.
Oh, yeah, of course.
New Japan, I think he could hold his own quite nicely.
Oh, yeah. In New Japan, I have no problem with. The other TNA, I have no problem with. I don't think you can handle Ring of Honor.
I think he can go strong style and be good.
Yeah, but it's not the strong style. Unless he's willing to say, okay, I'll be a bad guy, right. ROH eats him up.
If he goes back to the Doctor of Thugonomics, he can make it at NXT. The current vanilla John Cena would not own NXT.
Yeah.
He'd be bounced on his ass inside of 6 months.
Yeah, that's true. You got too many people there that could probably run circles around him in that regard.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about gimmicks and presentation. I'm talking about the presentation and the public image that John Cena has right now, not necessarily the in-ring work, because he did great against Styles. He's done great against Owens. He did great against Cesaro and a couple of other people, even Bray Wyatt. But as far as it goes right now, his microphone work is good, but his style does not fit in anywhere else right now, current day.
Correct.
All he's got is WWE.
I think it's because he's been there. That's where he's honed what he does.
Look, even Hogan didn't totally suck in TNA now.
And apparently he was a different person in New Japan.
Who, Hogan?
Yes.
Yeah. He got his ass handed to him in New Japan.
Yeah, I don't think he would have a choice in New Japan. I think they'd be like, this is what you're going to do, Hogan-san, or we're not going to pay you.
And Cena would have to do the same thing. Do I see... Okay. If you watch New Japan on Access, you tell me one match where John Cena would flourish right now. Let's go back to they're showing last year's G1.
Mm-hmm.
Please, do you think John Cena, as it stands right now, is strong enough to really carry himself in New Japan at the G1?
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He would have to completely change. He would have to be the biggest heel in the world to draw heat. He would have to be so heel, everybody would hate him.
I think if John Cena would turn heel, it'd be like when Hogan turned.
Oh, yeah, now. But to survive anywhere outside of the WWE, he would have to.
If John Cena turns now, nobody would care.
What?
You know, I actually thought that if Finn comes up, instead of having Finn join the club, have Cena do it.
Barf.
Oh. That'd be awesome.
I think that would be awesome.
I think we're not far away from seeing John Cena turn heel.
Boy, it's his mentality. He's already said he won't do it. So
now we're coming up on the last break here. As we head to our last break.
2 breaks I haven't had to tell him.
All right, I'm trying to
He's growing up.
It's because I'm actually here this week.
So that's also true. There's a clock ticking. I can hear it in my head.
And I wasn't trying to get my kids out of the room. Last time I was like, take a break. I got to get the kids out of the room.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
And when we come back from break, I think it's time for Corner to Corner After Dark.
Nope, we'll do that at the top of the hour.
Oh, that's right. We're running late tonight.
Yeah. Overtime, baby. We'll be right back here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Stick with us.
Hello again, everybody, and this is Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Radio for the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join us every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with myself, Rob Hefner, and Brian Taylor as we bring you our thoughts and feelings on the world of professional wrestling and everything in between. As my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week. We look forward to seeing you. Thanks again for listening to the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clive Braddock, and the Magic City Motor Fast Eddie Lane as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here, live, every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Lane, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
We'll let Stan do it this time.
Is it my turn this time? Or is it Brian's turn this time?
I think it's all of your turns.
Okay, you do it this time.
All right, so we're back. and
It's like, hi.
Hi.
Anybody got any new Legends Fest news? Maybe anything new out there?
Legends Fest news. Let me go to the videotape. Why don't you shoot the breeze for a moment while I look
I did finally reach out to them and see what the VIP access is about.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, it gets you into the Q&As and the things like that, but it doesn't include any, like, photo ops or autographs. Mm-hmm. But it's very good, and we've already got our VIPs. We've had them since the thing was supposed to be in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, November last year?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we were ready to go, and so we're ready to go down there and see some legends. I'm excited about Road Warriors and Jim Ross and Jim Cornette, Magnum TA. That's the one I can't wait to see, is Magnum TA. Magnum TA.
Not quite after dark just yet, so.
I didn't say nothing.
Folks, head on over to NWALegends.com for an official
What was
listing.
that?
NWALegends.com.
Say it again.
NWALegends.com. Say it slow.
Tell it like you like it.
August 4th through August 7th. NWA Legends Fest, Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Legends Fest, rather. Legends Wrestling Fan Fest.
Speaking of Mid-Atlantic, like, if you haven't seen that Mid-Atlantic Memories, awesome.
Yes.
Awesome documentary.
I know what the hell I'm doing.
The great Brian Taylor had purchased it, and we had watched it, and it's definitely worth a viewing.
Yes. I think Ross is putting out one, too.
He is. Actually, that was what I was getting to. Jim Ross announced this recently on the Ross Report. He's producing his first film called 605 on the Superstation.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you that don't know, when the Crockett Promotions would air on the Superstation on Saturday night, it would come on 5 minutes after 6, and hence the name 605.
You know, as a kid, that used to make me angry. Because everything on TBS started at 5 minutes after the hour.
Yes.
And you're like, come on!
So far confirmed guests for the event.
Rob, Stan, Brian.
Corner to corner will be in his house.
The triple threat of wrestling radio, the international triple threat of wrestling radio, will be there.
That's right. And then, of course,
we would have shirts if Stan would ever get off and get them done.
I mean, nobody wants a stick figure
We
t-shirt.
just ripped that Band-Aid right off because, you know what? That's the elephant in the room that you don't want to talk about.
Well, I mean, I can't draw anything but stick figures. Let's do it for that.
Well,
a C, a 2, a C, and then stick figures. How about that?
I don't think
Brian, with Rob.
We're not looking for like a Cena shirt that you're wearing right now, Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect. But just
Stan collects Cena shirts like a friend of ours used to collect Stone Cold shirts.
But yet he claims to hate him. He claims not to like him, though. You know,
he says he doesn't. But
I never said I don't like Cena.
If you've ever watched Hogan Knows Best, the time where Hogan's ex-wife walks in and he's sitting in the closet with his wrestling crap on, that's Stan. Sometimes when Stan's mom walks into the room, Stan's sitting on the floor with all his wrestling shirts. Which one do I wear?
You didn't think you were
Do I
done
wear
drinking.
Cena or Cena or Cena
or Michaels?
Yeah, he's still got the old Thugonomics shirt.
Actually, I do not own a Thugonomics shirt. I do have a few Cena shirts, though. I'll give you that.
Right next to it, Shawn Michaels. But no, we're going to be at Legends Fest along with.
Arn Anderson.
Yeah, he waited too long, so we're going to move on to something else.
Arn Anderson, Tony Schiavone, Tom Pritchard, Austin Idol, Road Warrior Animal, Mickey James, Magnum TA, Velvet Sky, The Perfect 10, Baby Doll, Tully Blanchard, good old JR Jim Ross, Ricochet, Tessa Blanchard, Sinister Minister, James Mitchell, and Rachel Ellery, among many, many guests that are coming in.
And if you have the VIP, it's a whole wrestling show one night.
Yes. I thought it was two.
And then it's a whole female division, like a whole female promotion is going to wrestle right before
Queens
that.
of Combat, that's right.
That will have Blanchard versus
Ellering.
Ellering.
We also have gotten confirmation that Bobby Eaton, Stan Lane, Steve Kern, Mike Rotunda, Rick Steiner, Kevin Sullivan, Lex Luger, Nikita Koloff, Brutus Beefcake, Coco Beware, The Powers of Pain, The Warlord and the Barbarian, Bunkhouse Buck, and Colonel Robert Parker, Hollywood, Gene Basone from Glow, Paul Ellering, of course, Paul Diamond, Henry Godwin, and Tim Horner will be signing autographs, taking photos with the fans. There's a tremendous list of pricing as far as different autograph opportunities, merchandise. The Crockett Foundation is going to be there. Wrestle Warehouse will be there. High Spots will be there. We already announced Queens of Combat. There will be a booth there for Headlock on Hunger. Action Mike Jackson will be there. Bill Apter will be there. And Pearson's Collectibles. Got ourselves an opportunity for some fancy merch, I think.
Expensive merch.
We're going to be broke before we get through day one.
I was going to say, you pay all that photo ops, crap, you ain't going to have no money to buy nothing.
iPhones, baby.
The dollar store, dollar menu at McDonald's across the street.
I mean, you see Lex, it's not like he can get away quick. Lex!
Oh.
That ain't funny.
I was going to say, I say a lot of things.
Wow.
But there's just some places you just don't go. And Stan, insensitive Stan, went there.
I mean, he kicked the door in.
Yeah. So Stan's that guy who walks up to people in wheelchairs and knocks them over.
No, just hits the brakes and hits.
He is. Please, the views and the comments of Stan Grubb are not those of the other C2C Radio, Wrestle Rage, or any other Beyond Ringside. Sorry, please don't kill me, Eddie. Don't kill me, Eddie.
Pardon me while I grab a steak knife. Really? I can't believe
Hey, I didn't say that other person's name.
No! You just put his show over!
Not that show. That doesn't exist anymore.
Damn.
You're not going to get the same amount of money that old Farouk gets.
That's true. Actually, I'd probably get sued for gimmick infringement. Damn. Anyway.
But Legends Fest is looking to square up to be a great weekend. It's going to be fun.
If you'd like to send donations, the GoFundMe page to get us home will be up soon.
He ain't lying. He ain't even put the WrestleMania one up.
I don't know. Well, we got to see. Let's start small. Let's do a GoFundMe for the Legends Fest. See if they'll pay for us to at least have gas to get home. What's it, $100? I mean,
dream big.
How hard can it be to get people to donate $100?
I don't know what scares me most is the fact that he's talking about blowing all his money down there. The fact his car that we're going to take got towed today.
Sorry. I don't even know what's wrong with it.
You sure it got towed, not repoed?
Yeah, I'm sure. My bank account can attest to this. I'm sure. It was a tough day in the Casa del Grub today, as this fairly new vehicle sat and sat and sat Until the tow truck arrived.
And we don't care, so moving on.
You know,
I was gonna say the sympathy train has left the station.
Hey, no, it hasn't. It's not. It's joining me in my kitty party.
So the ambulance will pick you up at the corner.
So back to news.
Back to news.
News.
Balor, Aries, Nakamura, and Joe are supposed to be starting on several of the main event roster house shows tonight.
Right.
So anybody out there that happens to see it and has some results, email Stan. We'd like to see.
Yes, sir. We definitely want to hear about your results or if you've got photos. Or, hey, here's a thought. So you're going to one of these events. Why not take a corner-to-corner sign and show the world your support?
And let's save that for Raw or SmackDown. That the whole world would see, not a house show.
They can go to New Japan. They can go to Ring of Honor. They can go to TNA. I don't care where they go. Well, TNA needs all the help they can get. So let's send a corner-to-corner fan to Orlando.
So, Dixie, we're available if you need, some bookers or anything, fresh talent.
We take payment in cash only. Just saying.
I
Guaranteed to get you more ratings than you have now.
I might would take the exposure.
Because look at our wrestling radio show.
If she pays for
our ratings have tripled since we began.
But I mean,
we have better ratings than Impact.
Look at last year when they were
we're more global. That's for sure.
The announce team was like in a hotel room. I mean, we could announce it right here. Just send us the tape. Yeah.
You think Steve Corino would sue us for that?
Yeah, probably. That would be funny though. Every other move, super kick. Put the Bucks over.
We love you, Young Bucks. We do.
Yeah, Bucks are cool.
So, guys, I mean, as we head towards closing out the main portion of the show here, thoughts on Dean Ambrose as WWE World Champion?
Rob?
I like it. I think it's a breath of fresh air. I think it builds up and sets up Rollins versus Ambrose, which is a sustainable feud for foreseeable future.
Yep.
The thought of him cashing it in right now, I think on one hand, I thought it was a good idea because it pushes, and not to keep hitting on the man, but it pushes Roman Reigns out of the world title picture for now because then he is not the most recent loser.
Yeah.
But then the thought of the missed opportunity of crazy lunatic Dean Ambrose tormenting and stalking Seth Rollins for a few years. Like, could you have not have seen the vignettes of Seth Rollins out there finally barely wins the match again? Maybe they have like J&J security back there with him and he barely wins the match and then just Dean Ambrose comes down to the ring and acts like he's going to cash in there and goes, no. And then just all of a sudden, he's sitting in the limo and all of a sudden outside the limo window is the briefcase like, it's coming. Just like that whole lunatic thing. I thought it was good. But, hey, we'll see where it goes from here.
Brian?
I'll agree with Rob. It was different. It was a nice little change of pace, I guess. To me, Ambrose stacks up better against more opponents than Reigns does.
And the report was that on Sunday they got the results of the infamous test and made their decision from that. Booking on the fly at its best, I think.
I would imagine the WWE is smart enough to have contingency plans.
Yeah, a backup plan.
Right. For everything. So they knew that he had to take one, and they knew he was your champion. So they probably had a second plan in play for that night, for Monday night, for SmackDown, whatever, once they got the results back.
And plus, I mean, even if he does, he being Reigns, makes it to the pay-per-view Battleground, I can't see him winning. I think it's either Ambrose successfully retains or Rollins comes away with it. But I don't see Reigns coming away with the title. What I do see is them basically, I wouldn't say punishing him necessarily, but moving him to the background during this brand split and letting him earn it again.
I mean, what do you think is a worse PR nightmare? Okay, the guy who was just your standard bearer for your company, messing up on a drug test,
right?
Or a manager who's in a storyline with the enemy, oh, I'm engaged to him. What kind of reaction they got from creative?
Yeah.
And then, oh, wait a minute, the standard bearer for our company, the person all these kids are supposed to look up to,
came up dirty on the drug
piss is hot.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you can't very well. You can't put the belt back on him. You just can't. He comes out for this suspension. You're not going to be able to do it.
Well, the only way you can't is if they've learned from the past.
Right.
I.e., Randy Orton. Because he was pretty bad off, and they kept feeding him the title.
Same with Batista.
Yeah.
Batista got to a point towards when he turned heel that he was coming up dirty, and they still kept him in the main event.
So hopefully they've learned their lesson.
Right.
And that just shows you that the creative now had an out.
True.
You know what I mean?
Clause, yeah.
Like, hey, wait a minute. If Roman Reigns was over like they wanted him to be, if he'd have pissed hot, would they have just, oh, what are you talking about? We didn't see enough. Or would they have even tested him?
Well, I think...
That's an interesting point.
I think if Reigns was, like, super hot, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
Stan
over,
thinks he's super hot.
Well, yeah. I think...
Drink!
I think the results still would have come into play, but he would have gotten an injury to explain why he's off TV for half.
Yeah, they would have done something for him. They would have made something happen there.
Marine 6. Something.
Yeah. There's
something the Mrs. movie? The
Miz is making 5. So...
Yeah, I think he would have lost, but I don't think...
Expendable 7.
So...
I mean, I can understand the desire there to see the investment through, to Brian's point, if he's white hot. No matter where he goes, you have to kind of make concessions. But in this case, the question we all asked was, how do you get Roman Reigns out of this title picture? And he did it himself. He did it himself. He took himself out of it. And it is disappointing from a perspective of one of his fans because he had everything. I mean, they gave him the title. They gave him the face of the company. They put him in main events with anybody really he could want. Mm-hmm. And this is just a poor decision on his part. Now, Jim Ross goes out and basically states that he was informed from someone who will most likely stay nameless that it was a supplement that was not necessarily approved, that he had been told that it was okay, and it still came up on the list.
Which is totally possible, because if their drug test is anything like the NFL.
Right.
The NFL and NASCAR have these drug tests, which they don't tell anybody what you're not supposed to take.
Right.
Like, they had an interview with Jeff Gordon years ago when he had an incident, and they're like, all right, what are you taking for it? You know, did you get some pain meds? No, I'm afraid to even take ibuprofen. Because NASCAR didn't say, hey, what we can take, what we can't. If the WWE's like that, the man could have taken ibuprofen and then,
right.
You know.
And I think it's feasible. One of the other
sesame seed bagel.
And one of the other parts of this suspension that, to me, at least for him, stood out as a positive was that he got out in front of it, said, hey, this is my mistake, I did it, and he didn't make any excuses. It doesn't make it better. It doesn't make what he did correct.
He did what 90% of the people need to do in the public eye. Instead of hiding from it.
Yep.
Get in front of it and say, yep, I did it, I'm sorry.
Yep.
And have you seen it anymore?
No.
Has anybody talked about it except on these little shows like we do? No.
Well, and I think a lot of people, what they're talking about is the impact of it on the main event. Thankfully, their roster is replenishing now. People that were injured are coming back. Randy Orton's scheduled to come back in about a month or two. Bray Wyatt just recently came back. You know, you've got people on the roster right now that, with him gone for 30 days, his spot is filled. Whereas, 3 months ago, they'd have really been in some deep trouble.
Well, yeah, but even 3 months ago, I think you could have taken him off, and you still would have been all right. I mean, you still have Cesaro.
You have potential main event talent that you could have filled in. Yeah, I'll give you that.
So. I mean, you have stars that, in my opinion, you have people that could be main event that have been held down because of those people who are there.
Like Dolph Ziggler.
You know, like you got people who could be main event that are always being held down from the ones who are there. So, Randy Orton's gone. Seth Rollins is gone. And that gives you a chance
to step up.
Wait a minute. Now we've got Brock back part-time.
Right.
We've got The Undertaker. We've got, Roman Reigns. We built this machine we have to figure out how to run.
Right.
So then those people still get held down.
You wonder if when they started looking at all these people that were coming back off the injury, if they kind of painted themselves into a corner with having such a very bolstered roster that they forced themselves to a brand extension. The roster. Remember, the roster used to be so top heavy that you didn't have a lot of mid card guys that you could see winning the title, but you could see the main event expanding as they needed it to. But your concern was always, if one guy gets hurt in the main event, you're screwed.
But, I mean, I think the brand split has been in play for some time. They were just waiting for the right time to do it.
I mean, I think it's one of their biggest regrets, not seeing it through the first time. When they did it the first time, they started mixing it up too soon and not making it as special. I think they do have regrets about that. So I agree with you there. I think they wanted to go back to that.
Well, I think probably, too, the first time they did it, they didn't understand the monster.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I don't know how the creative was back then, but now they're talking about taking one creative writer, one main writer for each show.
Yep.
Right. So you didn't have to worry about 2 whole shows and crossing people over and all this other stuff. So I think they've sat down and ironed it out, and Triple H has probably, got involved and brought it something new to the table.
There's a lot more organization to it.
Yeah.
The coolest thing that I've seen coming out of all the talk about the brand extension and what's going to happen is that we're going to see some pay-per-view and special event names come back. Most recently today I read that Night of Champions is going to be renamed. It's going to be renamed to Clash of the Champions, which is pretty cool. We're going to see No Mercy come back. We're going to see Backlash come back. Pay-per-views are going to be branded Raw or SmackDown instead of just the big super shows. You're going to see Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania, the Big Four, come back to be the Big Four and be joint shows. With the women's roster the way it is, with tag team wrestling the way it is, the only concern now to me, because up until now, NXT really hasn't had a problem backfilling. But you're sooner or later going to run out of free agents.
But
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. If you watch one of the shows, any of the shows that show NXT, that show when they're in the classroom.
Yeah.
I mean, there are literally must be 100 people in this classroom that you have never seen before.
Right.
That are just waiting for their time.
ZZ's time is coming.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
ZZ's time is never coming. You put ZZ versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
That's a main event in any other American Legion.
Coming soon to a bingo hall near you.
But I think even with next, I think with the brand split, you're going to get rid of the names, the big names off of next, the ones that are ready to go up,
them up,
right? And the guys that are named other places that you put on next because that may not have been it was a smart move at the time, but now it's not. And then they'll start developing again. And
you can see a guy like Dolph Ziggler go back to NXT and flourish.
Flourish, yeah, but I don't think he will.
I think you're going to have your Raw, your SmackDown, which I would really wish they would just name them different. Instead of having this is the Raw brand, this is the SmackDown brand, just come up with, hell, you own every Federation logo out there.
Yeah,
except TNA and Ring of Honor. Like, you own all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Find one of those that you own and
call one WCW. Call one, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's name each thing, and then you have NXT, WWE, and boom, something else. Sorry, I'm not hitting your counter.
So maybe Raw retains WWE, and SmackDown goes WCW.
But then again, my thing is, what you're going to see people in NXT, those big main eventers, they're going to want to stay NXT.
Right.
Because wait a minute, do I want to go to the main roster and get forgotten?
Well,
do I want to go to the main roster and get just put in the mill of all those people and not do anything? Or can I stay at NXT and be the man?
Yeah.
It's Maple.
I'm good.
Brought from Canada. It's Canadian.
Thanks, buddy.
It's Canadian candy.
I don't take candy from strangers.
But granted, I think seeing the WCW name coming back, it's not going to happen. But you could make it SmackDown Wrestling, Championship Wrestling, or something.
Yeah, I agree.
Just to differentiate the two. Because in my mind, as a fan for years, to me, SmackDown will always be inferior to Raw.
Right.
Because the way they ran the brand split before.
Yeah. Well, in this time, though, with them being live every week, and with them doing the draft on SmackDown, you're getting a feeling that if they're both different brands, one's 1A, one's 1B, it's not 1 and 2. They're on the same level. There is a rumor, and I hope it's false, that they're looking into giving SmackDown a third hour.
I don't think right away you need to. I think you nail it better because to me,
I would rather have them both be 2 hours.
I think there are more Monday nights that they have to scratch and claw to find what to put that third hour. Because come on, there's sometimes when you watch 3 hours of Raw, you've had 3 matches and 80 minutes of talking.
Right.
But to me, though, when you move people, if you take, I don't know, 15 people off of Raw, that gives you more time on Raw, especially with the third hour, to put on better matches.
Right.
It's the same thing with SmackDown. I think they can sustain a third hour. They just have to change the format to do it.
My thing is,
I don't like this not being able to read what the hell y'all are doing.
Here, let me turn the screen here for you, sir.
I mean, what I say is to the WWE, put your talent where your marketing is.
Hey,
Right.
You can't type that until 11 o'clock either.
You always hear people say, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Well, WWE needs to put their talent where their marketing is. They have great marketing. They have great ways to push their talent. It's just they need to push their talent.
Well, again, though, you have to look at how they used to be before the Attitude Era. And then you got into this Attitude Era. And during the Attitude Era, we went from a 30-second promo to DX talking for a half an hour and us loving the crap out of it.
Right.
And I think that's what they never transitioned back out of. And I think they are going to start doing that, hopefully.
All right, guys. Well, we're coming to the end of our normal show. Please stay tuned for on Beyond Ringside Radio and all the family networks and Corner to Corner After Hours. But you can find me, Rob Hefner, at Rob Hefner on the Twitter. You can find it RDHUWP on Instagram and Rob Hefner on Facebook. You can find Brian at Brian Taylor on Facebook. Stan at Dropping Crap Out of Brian's Fridge.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
We're not there yet, Brian. STRCP21 at the Twitter. And you can find Stan at He Is Going to Pay for Brian's Groceries on Twitter. And
Cheers, gonna kill you.
Stan from Krypton on Twitter. And we have the show, C2C Radio Show on Twitter. And yeah, that's all for our regular hour. Thanks, Eddie. What do you got coming up?
Actually, we're going to go ahead. For everybody listening on the live side, tell you what, we are going to go after hours, which I'm scared to effing death. That's all I'm going to say. Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics will return Tuesday night. Of course, to be determined on Wednesdays. Sorry, I'm just having this mental picture of me with two people right now, and one of them is Hanaya the Howling Huntress, the other is Mandy Leon. If you missed Ring of Honor's Women of Honor show this week, oh, you idiot, go find it somewhere. I'll do the other closing credits in post.
Woo! Alrighty.
Take it out.
Folks, thanks so much for listening. And again, thank you from all walks of life all over the world for your support for Corner to Corner. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell their friends. We'll see you next week right here on 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Corner to Corner.
Make sure you're listening.
The PG version.
We talk about it, but